Production.
What is poppin'? So the Exro squad, they've been asking what's poppin' with this stock. Hope you guys are doing good. I took some time to make a report, a crypto-related stock report the past week and a bit. So I apologize for not posting on this for, I think it's almost like been 2 weeks, but we're back at it now. So we're looking at Exro. We're on the daily time frame, okay? And I've seen that we got a nice bounce off our previous support or previous resistance that's turned into support. So remember, right, what's happening here is this zone. Look how long it took this zone. Let's zoom in, daily time frame, and from late November to late January. So that's 2 months straight. It took a while to break this zone, right? So it's kind of interesting. We got the same type of pattern going on in 3 different areas. I'm going to break this down, erase some of this stuff so it's easier to see. But this is what we're looking at here, right? We have a nice, also very important to keep in mind, right? Like from the low we made, this was September, up into this zone, that's 200%. Like, that's a big move. That's a great opportunity to make money here, right? So we rip 200%. And what happens is we pull back, right? So we get into this $2 to 223 zone, sorry, 210 to 220 zone. And it took some time to break this down, right? We came up, came back down, right back to 160. So in that quick period of time, there was a 25% pullback in the stock, right? So we have this larger move up. We hit a major supply zone. So a supply zone is essentially when there's more shares outstanding in that zone than there is people willing to buy. So the demand is less than the supply, which means we go down in price. And it also means that it's going to take time to break that zone. So we come up, we reject, we come back again, we reject again. Took a little bit longer this period of time, but then we came up again and we started to just hang out a little bit closer, right? So we hang out a little bit closer, we reject again another 1-2 times, and then we get the full bullish engulfing here that covers pretty much almost 2 weeks of price action, and we still don't get it, right? So what I'm trying to get at is, imagine this is just an example, right? So I'm just simply make an example so it's easier to understand. But say there's 1 million shares out here, but there's only 100,000 people buying at that time. So the first time, it brings it down to 900,000. We come back down, we come back up into this zone, we hang out. Then it breaks it down to 700,000. We then take some time to break down again. We come back into that zone a third time. Now we're at 500,000, 400,000, 300,000 until we get enough shares weakening this area. The demand then surpasses the supply and we break up above, going for another run. So what we're looking at here, right, on Exro is the same thing happening again, but now we're at a much higher price point. So off of the lows, the very lows, I'm going to adjust this so you guys, off of the very lows we made in September, we're now up 311%, right? So there's still people who bought in down here who want to take gains at these price levels. So what we're looking at now is the same thing going on here, but we're going to wait for this, let's call it 270 to 290. Let's call it that zone, right? Think about this, right? This was a major support from 2020 up until 2022. We then break below. This is only our first, second, maybe third time revisiting this zone. It's going to take time. And that's okay. That is okay. As what we don't want to see, right? If you're bullish on Exro, what you don't want to see is a major exponential change in the trend. So when we're looking at this, let's go pull up the 8 EMA, and that could get us a decent look. So this is the 8 EMA on the weekly time frame, and I'm going to pull that up. We're holding it. Beautiful. That's good. Think about then again, 8 weeks. It's been the stock has been in play for a long period of time. Let's try looking at the 21 EMA and see what goes on with the 21. It's a little bit longer. So the 21 EMA, we'll erase this a bit, try to make things a little bit more clear for you guys to see, right? The 21 EMA is looking like it's being a solid support as of October 2022. As long as we don't have a major breakdown of that trend line, or that moving average, I think this is still okay. What we're looking for now is just a major consolidation period where we look for a major pattern that's going to be developed in this area, right? So we're going to erase this, pull this up, right? We want to see what's going to happen. We have this trend that's working for us, the low, high. So this is showing that the trend has changed compared to this downtrend here. What we need to see now is there's going to be a major pattern going on. Let's mark out this trend line. We'll get this supply zone deleted because it's evident that that is the zone that we're battling right now. So what we potentially need to look for now is simply a massive pattern to be developed. Hopefully it's a bullish pattern. We could start maybe marking out a triangle potentially. Let's try to mark this out and see what we got. Maybe not quite there. We could look at it from this perspective. Right, we have a major low there. Maybe this is our pattern here developing right now, where we have this triangle developing. This is our upper trend line holding us back, and we just need to get tighter and tighter in this range before we get a major breakout. That could be the play, right? The higher high doesn't have to be exactly there. The only reason why I'm pointing this stuff out is because it's technical analysis. This is how we essentially analyze stocks when in the fact of the matter, nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows. But the technical analysis part of this will help us understand further what could happen, right? So what we don't want to see is we have this clear higher high, higher low. It might take some time to tighten, but we don't want to break that higher low and come back down to here. If we do, this is a major zone that we have to hold in order for somewhat of a weekly trend, monthly trend to still be held, right? Uptrend, monthly uptrend. But overall, I still think it's all right. I don't think there's anything major to be worrying about. What we need to see now is what's going to happen from that time frame. Maybe we need to revisit this zone a little bit more, right? Maybe we still need to revisit this and develop more of a support on this level, since we only came back and retested it once, right? Maybe this needs to be a support a few more times before we get that move. But these are just my thoughts on Exro and a few different viewpoints that we could look at in how to analyze this stock and what to expect. Peace, guys.